What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video to get those 10s and 20 views. So, I did my way to effing early Carolina Panthers prediction. And that video actually did pretty good. And so today, I am going to be doing the rest of the NFC South. And to start a thing off, we got the Saints, we got the Falcons, and we got the Bucks. Pretty much it's going to be the same thing as last time. I'm going to do what I think their best case scenario will be and what I think their worst case scenario will be. I already did the Carolina Panthers up in the top right, which I had best case scenario was at 11-6, and worst case scenario at 6-11, based off my opinion. And I am an idiot, so take that with a grain of salt. We will be doing the rest of the divisions. Let's go from bottom to top. That means next team up on my list is the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons this offseason, I don't think really did all that to improve. So, in a best case scenario situation, week 1 against Steelers, that's probably. Hold on. My bad. My bad. We need. Okay, Falcons. Falcons, in the best case scenario, week 1 against the Steelers, I have them winning. That is a very winnable game for the Steelers because A, it's early in the season and Mike Tomlin is weird, and B, you don't know what they're getting with their quarterback situation. This is saying that the Atlanta Falcons fixed their offensive line and is getting quarterback play from either of their two quarterbacks. Just saying. Next week against the Philadelphia Eagles, I have that as a nice loss. The Eagles are probably going to almost sweep the NFC South. Followed by the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, again, the Falcons, even in their best case scenario, I think they improve, but not like a whole lot. Best case scenario, they split with the Saints, so let's just give them a win there, and they split with the Bucks, so that's a win there. That puts them at 4-1. Very good start of the season. Best case scenario, and I hate to say it, they sweep the Panthers, so that's 6-1. Seahawks probably again. Best case scenario, that's 5-1. Get the Seahawks again. Don't know what's really going on with that team. That's 6-1. But lose to the Bucks. Lose to the Cowboys. They are a solid team. Lose to New Orleans. Because like I said, they split with everybody except the Panthers. Denver. Best case scenario, Denver's not that good. They get a win there. I think if this bye week, coming off the bye against the Chargers, I think at this point, either the team's going to be very good or Harbaugh got it under control or not. So I'm going to go, I think I put him as a loss here, which will put me at, I messed up the count. Against Minnesota, I think that it's a win, best case scenario. Same with the Raiders and the Giants and the Commanders. And they close out against the Panthers. In the perfect scenario where everything goes right, and my math is right in my times I said wins versus loss, best case scenario, Atlanta would be 10-7. Now, scrolling back to the top, because, if this is the best case scenario, well, what's the worst case scenario? I hate to say it, but worst case scenario for the Falcons is super ugly. That is a loss against the Steelers, loss against the Eagles, loss against KC. They'll be swept by New Orleans, swept by the Bucks, and swept by the Panthers. First, guaranteed a 6 loss. Lose to Seattle. I don't know why I highlight that. Lost to the Bucks again, lost to the Cowboys, lost to New Orleans, beat Denver. One of the things where they got to get something. Chargers got it figured out. Minnesota got everything figured out. Raiders, okay, there's win 2, but they'll lose to the Giants, Commanders, and the season with Panthers finishing the year off with a great 2-15. Now, if you were to compare that to Panthers, best case scenario they're 10-6, and worst case they're 2-15. So yeah, of all the four teams, I definitely think the Falcons have the lowest ceiling and the worst floor of all the teams. I have no faith in this team. Reality, I probably think in the real world they have 3 or 4 wins and end up with the #1 draft pick next year. That is my honest opinion. Moving over now to, let me go back over here. Moving on to New Orleans. New Orleans' big thing is, did they fix their line? Did they fix Carr? Can they stay healthy? That is the whole thing. Gotta move that away from my head. So once again, we always start with their best case scenario. And the best case scenario, everyone sweeps the Panthers. That's just a simple fact. So they get starting off the season with a nice win right here. Then they play Dallas. I don't see them beating Dallas. I don't see them beating the Eagles. So that puts them at 1-3. Beat the Falcons. Lose to the Chiefs. They probably end up even in the best case scenario splitting with the Bucks. So this one's at home, so give them that win. Beat Denver. Beat the Chargers. Best case scenario, yeah, they have no idea what they're doing at this stage. Like I said, swept the Panthers, swept the Falcons, beat the Browns. Probably beat the Rams, beat the Giants, beat the Commanders. Green Bay's about the same boat, so lose to Green Bay, beat the Raiders, and then lose to the Bucks. If I did the math again to the same way I did it earlier, that puts their ceiling at 13-4, which actually, spoiler, is my best of all the teams out there. So I think they have the highest upside. I think the schedule is very favorable to them. But now we gotta go to worst case scenario. No, their offense line still is not reliable, and they can't stay healthy. And Derek Carr is a bust. So worst case scenario. Again, I already did it before. I think I take the same picks over again. I don't have like each one down. So worst case scenario, they lose to the Panthers, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Eagles. I have no faith in the Falcons, so there's a win. Lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Bucks. Sorry, Denver, I don't think you're gonna be that good either. I think you're like a year or two out from being really a like good competitive team. Lose to the Chargers, lose Panthers. Yeah, in a worst case scenario, I still don't think that team's that bad that they don't sweep the Falcons. Lose to the Browns, lose to the Rams, beat the Giants. I have no faith in the Giants. I think the Giants are going to be that weird team, but then lose to the Commanders, lose to Green Bay, lose to Vegas, and then lose to Tampa. If I did everything correct, New Orleans base bottom is 5-12. And in reality, I probably put them around that 7 to 8 win range. Like, are they that good that they're going to be to handle a thing, or are they just not good at all? They just have so many problems to deal with. And last but not least, the reigning, defending NFC champs, the Atlanta Falcons, as the webpage doesn't like me. Starting off the season with in best case scenario, as the flag is still going through my head, so we got to shrink it a little more. In best case scenario, they beat the Commies. I don't think they'll beat the Lions even in a best case scenario. Beat the Broncos. lose to the Eagles, but it'd be one of those games where it's a winnable game. They would sweep the Falcons, sweep the Saints. Probably lose to New Orleans. Because that beat the Falcons, lose to Kansas City, lose to the Niners, beat the Giants, beat the Panthers, beat the Raiders, beat the Chargers. I think I had them beating Dallas, beat Carolina, beat New Orleans. So on the high side, on my sheet here, I have somewhere around 12-5, which probably would win them the division again, easily. Now, in the worst case scenario, everything last year was a simple fluke. And the other teams did the right thing. Going up against the Washington Commanders, I had that as still as a win. I think Washington is closing in. If their quarterback pans out, give them like another year, and they will probably be a real threat. Lose to the Lions. Beat the Broncos. I'd have Broncos as one of my worst teams next year. Lose the Eagles. Beat the Falcons. I said, in worst case scenario, I don't think the Falcons are going to be, even the best case scenario, Falcons aren't going to be better. No, at New Orleans, so worst case scenario, they split with them, so that's a loss. Lose to New Orleans, beat the Falcons, lose to KC, lose to the Niners, beat the Giants. No, lose to Carolina, and then beat the Raiders, so I don't have faith in Raiders. Lose to the Chargers, lose to the Cowboys, lose to Panthers, and then finally get swept by the Saints. So in the worst case scenario, move it over here. I have them at 6-11. I think they are going to be much like the Saints. They're going to be right around that 7-9 win ratio, and as an overall, like where I think each team will be in the throughout the season, it's like Carolina's probably sitting. Like I think the Panthers, Bucks, and Saints are all going to be sitting somewhere around that 7-9 win ratio, really fighting for the NFC South. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, 1, 3, and 4 can have anywhere between 7 and 12 wins and be a somewhat threat depending on, quarterback, and health. It's like, I honestly don't think the Falcons are going to do much. So my way to effing early NFC champions will be my team, the Carolina Panthers. Defense stay consistent, which it should. Yeah, we lost Brian Burns. We picked up a lot of good pieces. I think we got the best defense. And if the offense clicks, I don't think that'll be hard stuff for me. But that is it. I will be doing each of the divisions as I go on. So next week we'll do the AFC South. We'll just go 1-2, 1-2. That's it. That's all I have. I'll see you weird people later.